Welcome to Not Your Average Neighbor, the podcast celebrating inspiring individuals and the amazing work they do in our community. I'm Ann Roshar, your host, inviting you to join me as we shine a light on stories of resilience, connection, and good news. Let's build a neighborhood that uplifts and inspires, one story at a time. Hey neighbors, it's Ann Roshar, hostess with the mostess, and your Not Your Average Neighbor host right here with you. And guess what? I am solo today. And that's the first time this has happened. But you know what? We're going to make it work because I've got stuff to talk about. So we're just going to dive in deep into vacation. And why vacation, I feel like, is very important for your livelihood and being a human. So, welcome everyone. If you don't know who I am Ann Roshar. Excuse me. I'm a realtor here, right here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I like to build a community of amazing neighbors doing amazing things in our community. And I had an amazing neighbor lined up, and we will hear from her another time. So we are just going to pivot because that's what we do when we're good neighbors. We're flexible. We can figure out a plan B without stressing out too much about it. And I'm ready if you are. So buckle in. It's going to be hopefully a hilarious ride of vacation experiences, but also just like a reminder if you thought that maybe vacation is too expensive or it doesn't help, it's really bullshit and not really relaxing. Like, listen, yeah, kind of, but also like, no, go take the trip. So my husband and I returned to Florida. We like specifically Treasure Island area of Florida, which is on the Gulf of Mexico side. If you know, you know. And so, yeah, we had not been there specifically in 4 years. We did the math. We went down right before my son went into his senior year high school. And so that was 2022. And that summer. And so that's why we decided to go back again. And there are just so many reasons why I love that area specifically. And one, the vibe down there is very warm and welcoming. Florida is very similar to Iowa in a lot of ways. Again, if you know, you know. But the beauty of the Gulf and the white sand and the peacefulness that it brings to my life in particular is why we go back. And really, this vacation was something that my husband needed desperately as well. Again, kind of to bring it back to last August, our son was in a really bad accident, and my husband is just an amazing neighbor. And we were calling him Nurse Daddy. I mean, not my son, just me and all my friends. We were calling him Nurse Daddy, and Nurse Daddy needed a break. So this was the perfect time for us to get away. Our son was taken care of by his friends, and my friend, Wendy Sue, my bestie for the restie. And so, yeah, it was very well needed, very well deserved. And we're just so happy we were able to go. Now, again, we went with a couple of friends, very good friends, Raymond Seidel and Matthew Salger, who have both been guests on my podcast because they are not your average neighbors at all. And they were able to, amazingly, they were able to quiet their lives a little bit and enjoy the time as well. If you forget, Raymond and Matthew are both realtors. Raymond also owns a print shop here in Iowa. It is a printing. Matthew is also a full-time funeral director, and they also are the founding members and still like only real employees of Together We Achieve, which is a nonprofit here founded after the derecho of 2020. So again, it was an amazing feat. Plus, they have young sons too, and so for them to get away from all of that and to just check in and be present was, I think, something that they needed as well. So we flew out of Cedar Rapids Airport. And by the way, if you don't know, Cedar Rapids Airport is so gorgeous. The community has been doing a ton of work out there, and we are fortunate that we have an airline called Allegiant that flies directly from Cedar Rapids to St. Petersburg, Florida. PIE, I believe, is the acronym for that airport. So we flew from CID to PIE, and we got in pretty late, like 9:30, 10 o'clock, our first night. So we went to our Land's End, shout out to the Land's End condominium community. And we kind of just took all of our stuff, settled in, and then went out because we were A, hungry, and B, we were just so excited to be there and see all of our favorite local haunts that we have all been to before. Matthew and Raymond, when we started our friendship, I'm thinking now it's been 6 years ago, we all discovered, no, 7, we all discovered that we love this area specifically. And so we have been down there before, but never to stay on a condo or in a beach. And so it was a new experience for us all. Land's End is literally at the end of this Treasure Island vicinity. So we were literally steps away from the ocean and couldn't have been more pleased and excited about that. So a couple things that just surprising things that I forgot for not being there for 4 years, and not forgot, I guess, but maybe remembered, reignited my memory, re-sparked my love of Florida. What are, again, sitting on the beach, listening to the waves come in and looking out in the horizon, and there's nothing out there but blue sky, blue seas, and it's so magical. A few things that happened to us during this vacation were, one, the first day we were there, 3 manatees just trucking down the road, trucking down the Gulf like this. And I was like, no, those aren't, it's seaweed. But they kept trucking. And no, they were indeed manatees. And I tried to get my husband to get a video, but I'm not sure we did a very good job. So that was a first that we had never experienced before. And then 2 sunsets that we intentionally made sure that we were there for. One wasn't spectacular because it was kind of cloudy that day, but dolphins, like 7 or 8 dolphins, were just playing out in the Gulf, and we were all excited about that. Like, they were just having a lot of fun. There was a dolphin boat tour out there, and so dolphins really tend to like the waves, and they like to play. They really do like to play. So they were playing with the boat, and we didn't have to pay. We got to see them for free. So that was very exciting. And pretty much the first time I've experienced that. Just kind of bring it back in. We've been traveling to this area for over 10 years. We just love the sand there. It's very soft and the water is very blue, and it just doesn't really get much better than that, in my opinion. So the sea life was fun, and there were quite a bit of shells that we were able to procure. I am giving some of those to my second graders that I'm going to be seeing very soon in just about an hour. And so I hope that they'll be excited about that as well. But yeah. So vacation in Treasure Island is something that we didn't just discover. It is something that has been a part of our family life and living. And, my son, he's not really a sun person. He likes cold, which I'm like, who are you? Because my husband and I definitely do not like the cold. But he was a little like, I'm kind of missing this. And I'm like, listen, Linda, nurse daddy needed a break from you. No, just kidding. Kind of, but not really. So we have very fun places that we like to go there. So I want to shout out those. We found a new place courtesy of Raymond and Matthew that we had never been to before called the Toasted Monkey. Now, the caliber of bands that play little tiki, vibe bar are insane. And unfortunately, I do not remember the name of the first one. I will come back to that or have my husband text it to me here in a second. But the first band was so good. We went back a couple days later. The band I remember because I bought a hat. Hashtag no filter, which already you've got me, but they had like a 7 or 8 piece band of women and men. There was a saxophone. They did bucket drums. There was piano. There was a female rock star drummer, and they sang all the hits from all the eras. And it was chef's kiss. Hashtag no filter. If you see them in the Florida area, definitely check them out. They were fantastic. So shout out to Toasted Monkey, the new fun place that we went. We also went to Caddy's, Caddy apostrophe S. If you know, you know. It is so fun. And it's right on the beach. And they were just doing their grand, kind of grand reopening because they were hit pretty hard in 2024 by a tropical storm and then a hurricane. And the fact that they came back in like 2 years was pretty incredible. And for us to be there to help celebrate that was so fun too. So definitely check that out. And then immediately across the street from Caddy's is this little bar called Katiki. Now, I'm not sure why it's called Katiki, but it is amazing. And they are the home of the $3 cheeseburger. So if you are on a limited budget, there is something for everyone. There are $3 cheeseburgers right across the street from the Gulf, from Caddy's, and Katiki is the place to be. So those are fun things that pop me. My husband and I also have, I don't know if it's a unique shopping love of things, but we certainly, like, our friends are like, this is weird. Why do you guys like to do this? But I love a new TJ Maxx. I love a different Ross. And down in Florida, they have not consignment, they have a discount store called Bell's. Now it's spelled Beall apostrophe S. It is pronounced Bells. We called it Beals for the longest time. And it's just like a TJ Maxx or a Ross. And usually we have a lot of luck finding unique, different things. And this year, I got to say, it was a bust. My husband likes to get fun shirts, like surf shirts and t-shirts and stuff, and he usually scores. I love to dig a new swimming suit for this season, and he was specifically looking for a baseball hat this year, and it took us like seven trips to find these very simple items before we one that we could handle. And anyway, so that is something that my husband and I like to do. As it may seem like a weird thing to do, but that is something we like to do when we're in Florida, is check out the TJ Maxx's, check available that is different, because our TJ Maxx, it's not the same. Not all TJ Maxx's are created equal. If you know, you know. That was one thing that was a little disappointing to us, which is so dumb, but it's also very true. Another highlight of our trip was to go visit our Jeff's sister and brother-in-law that live in Parrish, Florida. It was about a 45-minute drive where we were at. They get to they're on Gulf, and so it was great to just catch up with them and spend some time with them as well. They took us to Woody's something, I don't know, but it was cute and the food was really good. I love shrimp tacos. I love seafood of all kinds, so that was good. We also did get to go to our favorite Krabby Bill's, which is in Indian Rocks, Florida. That is it's just a beach like bar, and we were able to enjoy some music. There was a gentleman there that evidently had performed on The Voice, and it was $10 all you could eat. Peel and shrimp, or peel shrimp and peel. I don't know what I mean. So it was $10 for a half pound, and it was quite a bit. So we were excited about that as well. And that was the night that we experienced our epic sunset. This area is known as sunset capital of the United States, and those sunsets never disappoint. Even when it was really sunsetting, it was still gorgeous. But this one was just, and it goes down so fast. It's like, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Say that everything was just top tier and very fun, and not like we searched for an affordable place. And you're thinking on the beach, you're probably thinking, you bougie bitch. Of course you had to have on the beach. Well, yes, I hadn't had on the beach ever, so I wanted to try it. But our two-bedroom condo was perfect for that, and it was very affordable. So do not come at me acting like I have a lot of money, because I do not. So I'm probably going to wrap up this episode here very shortly, because it is just sounding a little braggadocious, but I have to end with a hilarious that happened to us. So today was our final day there, and although we wanted, to maybe go to the beach, we aren't feeling our best, because it's the last day of vacation. You're like kind of sad, you're drained, maybe your liver starts hurting. I don't know. I mean, ours was very much in overtime this last week. So we decided that we would go take a trip down to Clearwater, which is about 45 minutes away from where we're at. But it's a straight shot all the way down. Shot. You'll get it here in a second why I use that word. So we down there, and there's Pier 61 or some sort of pier that is a destination down in Clearwater. And we were just planning to walk around and soak up the last minute vibes of the sea and the sand. And well, there was another agenda on the schedule. It's so funny because like we had to pack up and go home, and we were all kind of tired and quiet, to be quite frank. So parking is a bitch anywhere in this area. You have to pay for parking everywhere you go. And you do not want to risk getting a ticket because who knows how much that ticket will be. So we found a parking lot, and I had suggested that we park in one space, but no, life has given us a little bit of a direction in another and to park in another space. So if you don't know this, birds shit everywhere, by the way, which is important to this story because we thought we got shit on by birds at first. We were parking, all of us had our windows down, we just were enjoying the last moment's beauty. And there's a car that parked or pulled in right before us, and they pulled into a spot. And again, all of our windows are down and we're behind them. And we pull into our spot and we put our car in park. And all of a sudden we hear like splat, like our brains were not connecting. We were like, what was that? And then because I'm so short, and our was super low, I was enough where nothing really touched me. But all of a sudden, the other passengers in my car were all assaulted, really assaulted by sunscreen. And what happened was the car that pulled in before us, there was a brand new package of sunscreen that was lying in the parking lot. And they pulled in, our windows were down, we pulled in, and our car was literally blasted with sunscreen, as well as passengers in the vehicle. I have a picture of my husband being like, it's just all over his. It was the funniest thing. And it really just reset our whole trip to end on a good note, full of laughter. And if you would like to see the video, Instagram is blowing up. I've never blown up on Instagram ever. And I've been on there for a long ass time. So yeah, it is on Ann underscore Roshar, I believe, is my handle on Instagram. So if you would like to see the hilarity and the devastation that happened to that car, specifically, that car got blasted. It shot right out. No pun intended. Yeah, it was I don't think we'll stop laughing about it for a very long time. So just a recap of all of the hilarity and shenanigans that happened in Florida, unplanned and planned shenanigans. And we just had a lot of fun. So this might be a reminder that you need to, yes, there is stress and there is, not always, it's like always amazing, but for the most part, vacation is needed. It is essential to our well-being. I cannot believe it has been 4 years since we've been down there. I don't know why I don't live there. I mean, that is what I'm manifesting now, is that I get a house on the beach in that area. Like, that is what I want. That is what I need. Maybe not even a house. That condo, it looked right out into the Gulf. I would be just fine with that as well. But that is what we're needing. And so here is your message to take the trip. The world is a dumpster fire right now. So if we can enjoy just a few minutes of relaxation and peace, wherever you find that, wherever you believe that that is, take the trip, please. So neighbors, thank you so much. We will be coming back to you next week, but again, I did it. 26 minutes. I just talked on my own. That's insane. Hopefully it turned out well. And neighbors, we will see you back. And please, if you have someone outstanding in your community that you think would be a great guest for our little podcast over here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, send them my way. My email is Ann at ANN at Nyan, NYAN.com. Send them my way. I'm always looking to talk and to connect with new neighbors without it within the community. And so we will see you next week. Until then, be kind, be fun, be gracious, be lovely, because that's what we need in this world. We need good neighbors. Take care. We'll see you soon.